Do you find yourself asking, why is there always resistance to change? Why do I constantly have to deal with people resisting change, notably in the workplace? Why are humans so terrible at change? Why am I the only one that's halfway decent at it? Can you relate? If so, by the end of this video, your mind is going to be blown because I'm going to be sharing a perspective with you that's going to completely flip the script of you constantly having to deal with those who are resistant to change. Perspective that is sure to get those you've seen most resistant to change to get hype and actually lean in and engage in your change efforts. Let's get it. In this video, I'm first going to baseline you on today's common understanding of resistance. Then I'm dropping a bomb on it with two truths that I've learned working with individuals and organizations alike going through hugely complex, stressful, and challenging change and transformations. Let's start with our common understanding of resistance. In today's current paradigm, when change hits, notably in the workplace, there's going to be resistance from employees, and I, as a leader, have to deal with it. My employees or my teammates or my peers are going to get in the way of change. They're going to pose this force working against it in opposition. It's going to take a lot of my own energy and maybe even exhaust me trying to get them on board and engaged to move through that change. It's like we're all trying to figure out a way to get our employees, our peers, our management, our spouse, our friends, our loved ones on board with change, not resisting or posing detriment or getting in the way of a change that we want to make happen, something that we're really focused on bringing to life. It's a bad thing, it's an unwanted thing, yet somehow it's an inevitable thing. But what if we flipped that script? Let's dive into two truths I've learned that will do just that. The first truth bomb that I'm dropping is the fact that humanity is wired to adapt to change. We're literally wired to adapt, to evolve, to changing environments and changing circumstances. And it's really about creating those types of conditions that enable that natural ability to really kick in, that ability to adapt. Conditions like a sense of urgency, belief, incentives. I'm always reminded of when the world shut down in March of 2020 and how quickly we all adapted to our changing environment. We quickly learned the importance of remaining inside of our homes, and then eventually, as we started to venture outside of our homes, there were new ways of being that we needed to adapt to, like wearing masks, like having things social distanced. But just think about how quickly you and those around you were able to adapt to the changes that were required for you to maintain your health and your well-being. When there is a sense of urgency, when there is a belief that a change needs to happen in order for me to be successful, in order for me to maintain my health, my well-being, that change will actually happen. I'll have that willingness to adapt to the change. And that natural wiring that I have as a part of the human species will naturally kick in. By the way, if you're digging this, getting value, please make sure that you subscribe. I drop videos like this all the time, seeking to deliver you value. So please click subscribe so you're one of the first to get notified. All right, let's get back into it. The second truth bomb is the fact that resistance is energy, and we have the power to redirect it and then use it to propel our change efforts forward. So if you think about resistance, it's the manifestation of the type of energy that moves in opposition to a change effort you're striving to move forward. And usually that resistance is fueled by frustration, by anxiety, by anger, and it's that type of energy that can either hold us motionless or keep us stuck or even push us back. But if we can recognize and acknowledge that that's energy, and we can think about how do we redirect that? How do we transform that energy into things like excitement and anticipation and enthusiasm enthusiasm, that energy then gets redirected because the signature of it changes and it begins to propel that individual and even your team or organization forward. So it's really powerful to think about that resistance as an energetic force and that it can be a resource that can actually be used once it's flipped, once it's redirected to actually move you forward. And honestly, that's why whenever I see or sense resistance in myself or in those around me or in clients that I work with, I kind of get excited because I know that the potential is there. There's energy there. And all we have to do is get curious to understand what's driving that resistance, what's inspiring that energy, so that we can start shifting belief so that that energy gets redirected to work for us as opposed to against us. And by the way, if you're curious, you can check out other videos on this channel to understand how you can actually redirect that energy in yourself as well as those around you. So make sure you browse the channel and check out those other videos. Okay, speaking of resistance to change, before you go, I got something else for you, and you know you don't gotta pay for it. You know it's free. I actually wanna offer you a free chapter of my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm: How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. And this will really enable you and arm you with the mindset that will enable you to transform that really difficult emotion that fuels resistance, to transform that into fuel to move you forward. And I want to offer you the introductory chapter, which is going to detail what this mindset is, this growth mindset that's anchored in transforming emotions often felt when moving through change. I want to make sure you have the data, the research, and the insights to inspire and fuel your growth through even your greatest change challenges. I'm Cassandra Worthy, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.